Hello, it's the 16th of October. I'm going to remove this triangle piece on the passenger side, which I think mounts the grill. It's got some screws in it, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll remove that. They have these spring clips on them. And I think this is called a valance if it's below the radiator. We'll remove all this later. Anyway, I'm going to do that. And we'll sand them and paint them. Well, I'm cleaning my wiring, and the easiest way I can figure out to do it is just soak it in soap and vinegar. So there's dish soap and vinegar and some hot water. I'm soaking it in, and every once in a while I'll jiggle the wires. And it's the headlamp wires and the fog lamp wires. And there's a ground that goes to the side wing. And I guess it mounts here with this mounting bracket that's right here. There's a ground wire in there getting cleaned. I don't know, there's probably a better way to clean it, but I don't know what it is. And then I'm going to go after the insides here sooner or later. Okay, well that's what's going on today. 16th of October, 2025. Very boring, but I'm showing all the details so my daughters can see what I did. And I'll show it on YouTube, and if you guys hate the idea of soaking wires, you can complain. But suggest a better way to do it, I'd be glad to do it. Bye. Well, I measured those 4 screws, and they're about 3.5 millimeters diameter, about a ½ inch long. And I don't know if I'll get new ones or just use them, but I'll clean up that wing gusset. And then I'll take off some more stuff. I'll probably take off this bottom valance, clean it up, and get ready for paint. It probably has some bolts under here. You know what? I'm gonna wait on that till I fix I'm gonna wait on that till I fix the fender. I'm gonna knock out some dents over here. Got 2 big dents. 1, 2, 3 big dents. 1, 2, 3 big dents. We're gonna bang them out of there. Clean it up. There's a little one down there. Anyway, I'll wait on that part. Okay, 16th October, 2025. Hi, it's the 18th of October, 2025. This is Freddie working on the TF again. This time I'm taking off the bonnet latches. There's one up there, and there's one in the back. This is the front one. And these are from the passenger side. And here's the mechanism itself. And I pulled the button that you push to release the latch, and it's got a spring in it. And these Phillips screws, which are chrome, and some small nuts and block washers are holding it in there. They look like they're, I used a 1/8 Whitworth wrench, so that's what size of wrenches I'm using, and it's right there. And I used the needle nose pliers to pull out. There's a little cotter pin that holds that spring-loaded latch in. Let's see if I can do that. Take that apart. So this is what you actually see here. You push that button, and this button is depressing a spring inside there, which is moving this latch. So moves it to the side, and then the bonnet opens. Okay, well, we're removing those, and we're going to sand the inner wing with this 220 grit. I already did 80 grit, now I'm down to 220. I skipped one, whatever, 120 or 150, whatever. And then we're going to paint it. Yeah, so there was a little rusty bit down there that I ground off. And everything is just kind of sanded a little bit of rust. I'll put some, put a sealer coat on it, and then paint it with 2K yellow. Probably do a pearl and then a couple clear coats on top. Anyway, that's the future plan. This is the cotter pin I'm going to take off. And when I do that, the spring is going to go and the button's going to fly out. I'm going to use these needle nose 90-degree angle ones to pull that cotter pin out, and it's going to spring out of there. Pretty easy peasy. Polish it all up and put it all back after I paint it. On these latches, even though they're symmetrical, this is the front one, so I put the cotter pin back in that one, so I know it's the front one, and I'll put a little tag on it that says front one. I got to take everything apart, clean it on the wire wheel, and maybe buff them up. I don't know if I'll paint them or not. I might just clear coat them. Depends on how they turn out clean. Anybody cares, let me know. These are going to buff out. They're chrome. But you don't see them on the inside, probably, so I'm not going to buy new ones. Okay. Putting my tools away now. It's a nice sunny day. California. Santa Cruz by the beach. Working on my front porch and put a rug out there so that when I drop the screws, I can find them. And if I can't find them, I have a magnet to go fetch them when they fall on the floor. Okay. Hate picking stuff off the floor. That's it for now. Do some sanding in a minute. Bye. All right, this is Fred here, working on the 1500, TF1500. Took off the rear wheel cover. I don't know if it's called a wing or not. There were 7 1/4 BSF screws that hold it together along this edge. There's 1, 2, and there's 7 of them along in there. And this one over here is extra long. It's like 1.5 inches or 2 inches. And that bolted, it was pretty easy to get undone. This is the headlamp. Sorry, it's the rear lamp that goes on the rear fender, and it's a stop lamp basically. The wires are just rinky-dinked on there. I labeled them with numbers so I can connect them. This is probably a ground wire, goes somewhere in the front. I'm not sure why, what this wire does. But I'll find out what they are, label them with heat shrink tubing, and put the colors they're supposed to be on them, because as you can see, well, this one says this will look red and the other one looks black, so it's pretty simple. These aren't funny colors. Okay, looks like red and black and ground. This is the rear wing, 30. I'll clean it up. It's got digs in it. I've got a new one in the attic. I'll probably use the new one. As far as organizing goes, I label everything, put them in a bag. So I do this so I can put it back together again next year when the engine's repaired, and put everything back together after to paint it. But I'm labeling everything in the bag, and I have some notes as to where they go. So for instance, this was taken off today, rear wing passenger car, 7 each of them with 1 extra long. And then they're 1/4 inch BSF and 5/16 Whitworth wrench. And you can see there's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 extra long, which goes in that hole that I showed you before. Those 3 screws are what hold the rear lamp on. It's pretty simple. So I labeled those. I'll put them in a bag. This is the rear lamp. It's right here. And you can see the wires are kind of goofy. There wasn't really bullet connectors. I probably should put bullet connectors on them, or something better maybe than bullet connectors. Anyway, something easy to take off. That's it. Continuing on the car. Bye-bye.